Hey, Dr. Bob here with Active Life Chiropractic in Valentine. And in this short video, I want to share my top 3 recommendations for parents that have children that are suffering from ear infections. Now, I will say that ear infections are one of the most common reasons that parents take their children to a pediatrician, and one of the biggest risks would be that it can actually damage a child's hearing if the ear infections keep coming back over and over again, and if they're bad enough. And so the course of action from the medical standpoint is to do rounds of antibiotics over and over and over again to try to eliminate the ear infection. And then if it keeps coming back over and over again, that's when they do the tube surgery. So they put ear tubes in, it helps the inner ear drain, and can help get rid of the fluid that is a breeding ground for bacteria and viruses. So what I'm going to show you in this video is how to try to prevent this whole process and this cascade of events from happening and try to avoid the tube surgery. I think in my office I have like a 95% success rate in preventing tube surgeries from actually happening. And so number one, let's just get into this. The first thing that I recommend is to cut back or eliminate dairy completely from your child's diet. So if you're a mom and you're breastfeeding your child and they've had an ear infection, I would cut out dairy immediately for 60 days. If your child's over the age of 1, I would cut out dairy completely for 60 days. And then after the 60-day mark, you can slowly start to implement it back in. But dairy causes this inflammatory response within your child's body, and it puts their immune system on alert. So we're trying to eliminate that process and then let your child's immune system start to fight off the virus or the bacteria that's going into their ears. So we're giving the immune system a break basically and letting it do its job. Now, I'm not a big fan in elimination diets completely. If your child goes to a friend's house and they're eating pizza with cheese on it, I don't feel like your child should be in the corner trying to eat, carrots and celery because we don't eat dairy in our house. I don't believe in that. I feel like they should have things in moderation. I just don't feel like dairy should be a staple in their diet. I don't think it's something that they should have on a daily basis, maybe not a weekly basis, because of this inflammatory response and how it actually affects the immune system from doing its job properly. Now, one of the biggest questions that parents will ask is like, okay, if I cut out dairy completely, what about the calcium? What about the protein that we're lacking? And my solution for that is to find alternatives. And I found over the years that, I'll put up a recipe here for a smoothie, but I found parents that try to make a smoothie like this one here. It tastes really, really good. You can use almond milk instead of using cow's milk. You can use cashew milk. If you can find goat's milk, you can use that. Goat's milk is actually a lot better than cow's milk is. But you can use alternatives to the traditional dairy products, and then you can add things in that have massive amounts of calcium, like kale. So kale has way more calcium than cow's milk does anyway. So try a smoothie like this, which can help get your child calcium, get your child protein, and they never even know that they're missing out on the dairy. So that's number one, is cutting back on dairy. Number 2 is we're going to add in a couple of supplements. And so I recommend adding in a good probiotic and adding in vitamin D3. And these are very simple to do. I really feel like when it comes to supplements, you get what you pay for, especially with the probiotics. So here's the one that I recommend. It's Garden of Life. You can get it at local Whole Foods in Waverly. I think it's about $30 for like a month, 2 months supply, depending on how much and how often you're giving it to your child. But it's a powder. So all you do is you would mix this into a bottle for a baby. If this is an older child, you can mix it into the smoothie that I just showed. But it's very, very good in building up the good GI tract bacteria. And I see a lot of parents that will come in, they're taking a probiotic that's like a Gerber or an off-brand one that you never heard of before. I just don't see the same results that I see with this Garden of Life. I feel like this is by far one of the best probiotics that you can take. So you're gonna start adding that in on a daily basis, and then you're gonna add in vitamin D3, which is very easy to do. All you do is you take, again, you can go to Whole Foods, you can get a bottle of this stuff. It's like $10, it lasts you like a year, and it should be like 400 to 600 IUs per day, and you just take a drop of this and put it on your child's tongue, and they're good to go. But these 2 supplements balance the immune system and give it a boost to fight off these ear infections, like I said, which are getting ready to ramp up, because as I'm filming this video now, we're already starting to see them. This is beginning of October, and they're going to go all the way through February and March. So this is a good time right now to start these 3 steps. And then number 3 is to try chiropractic care. Now, the way that chiropractic care can help with ear infections, if you're watching this, maybe you've never heard of this before, and you're thinking, I thought chiropractic care was for adults with headaches and back pain and people that get hurt on the job and things like that, and it certainly is, but there's the pediatric chiropractic standpoint also, which has a very high success rate in treating ear infections. And the way that this works is that when we're looking at the alignment of the spine, the bones should sit one on top of another. Now, from a traumatic birth or children that have a lot of slips and falls, learning how to crawl, learning how to walk, just small micro traumas to their spine, it can misalign one of the bones in their spine, and if it shifts out of place, it actually blocks off that inner ear and it doesn't allow it to drain properly. So if we see this misalignment, the bone is shifted out of place, it's blocking off this inner ear, it's clamping down on it, and we adjust it so we bring the bone back into place. We allow the inner ear to open up and the fluid drains properly, and then we'll see the immune system start to fight this off the way that it should. So you'll see someone that's taking a lot of supplements, they're trying probiotics, vitamin D3, they don't have dairy, they do all these things. I can make a list of 10 things that you can do to eliminate ear infections, but this one right here is one of the most important ones, because as long as the alignment problem is blocking the inner ear, it doesn't matter what you do, the ear infections are going to keep coming back over and over again. And that's why chiropractic care has such a high success rate, because you're actually getting to the root cause of this problem. So feel free to check out my website if you have any questions in terms of pediatric adjusting. I have videos of me adjusting children, so you can see what that process looks like. But essentially, when a parent brings their child into my office, my initial assessment and examination lets me know, first off, if I can help, second, how much I can help, and I can tell you right on the spot if I see an alignment issue within their spine that I can help with. And I can always provide recommendations up front and then let you decide if I'm a good fit for you and if you'd like to move forward, with treatments. So hopefully you got some great information from this video. Be sure to click the thumbs up button if you liked it. Begin working on these tips as soon as you can. We're getting into cold and flu season. Ear infections are already starting to ramp up, but we're going to see those going on from now until basically February and March. So it's a good idea to start working on these problems right now and be proactive rather than trying to catch up to illness and sickness that's already happened and can lead to further ear infections that might be coming. So anyway, best of luck with your children's health. I hope you have a healthy fall winter season.